When was the last time you really looked at your pocket change? I mean, not just glanced, but really paid attention to what's in your wallet or coin jar. Because what if I told you that a plain-looking penny from 1971, one with no mint mark at all, could be worth a staggering $1.6 million? Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent. One copper coin. Worth enough to buy a dream home, a brand new luxury car, and still have plenty left to live like royalty. And now here's the kicker. There could be one sitting right in your own home right now. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's go deep into the incredible story of the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny that shocked the numismatic world. You do not want to miss this. The year is 1971. Gas is just 40 cents a gallon, the Vietnam War is still raging, and Richard Nixon is in the White House. And in the United States Mint, Lincoln pennies are being struck by the millions, day and night. Most were made in Philadelphia, some in Denver, and a portion in San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins? They came with no mint mark at all. So, a 1971 Lincoln penny with no mint mark might seem common at first glance, but here's where the story takes a sharp turn. Not all pennies are created equal. The overwhelming majority of those coins were struck in average quality, meant to last a few years in circulation before being worn down and replaced. Some were struck with incredible precision, struck on the wrong planchets, or with minting errors that slipped past the eyes of inspectors. And among them sits one particular 1971 no mint mark penny that has shaken the collecting world. A penny that reached a jaw-dropping market value of $1.6 million. You'll find out in just a moment. If you've got a 1971 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark, don't toss it into the jar just yet. The first thing to inspect is the condition. The $1 million versions are usually in pristine, uncirculated condition, what collectors call mint state. Look closely at the coin. Does the copper still shine? Are Lincoln's details, his beard, the collar, the lettering, sharply defined? Next, flip it over. The Lincoln Memorial on the back should be crisp. No scratches, dents, or discoloration. Now here's the real secret. Some of these ultra-rare coins were struck on the wrong metal planchets. That means the coin might not even look like a normal copper penny. Some 1971 no mint mark pennies were accidentally struck on leftover silver dime planchets or foreign metal discs. And this is where things get wild. A 1971 penny that's slightly lighter or has a different tone could be worth a fortune. A powerful combination of rarity, a historical error, and the frenzy of collectors competing to own a piece of American minting mystery. That's exactly what happened to one man. And his story is going to blow your mind. Retired factory worker from Ohio, sorting through old coin rolls that had been collecting dust in his basement for over 30 years, it started off just like any other weekend project. Organize, maybe find something fun to show the grandkids, but then, he spotted it. A 1971 penny with no mint mark, and a silver tone. He thought, that's odd. And instead of tossing it aside, he did something most people wouldn't even think to do. It came in lighter than a normal penny. He got curious. Sent it to a third-party grading company. The coin came back authenticated. It had been mistakenly struck on a dime planchet, and just like that, a coin worth 1 cent became a coin worth well over $1.6 million at auction. Imagine opening an old drawer and finding a check with 7 figures written on it, all because you took a closer look. That's the magic of rare coins. You never know when lightning will strike. Absolutely. Let me show you why. Even if your 1971 penny looks normal, don't dismiss it. There are other varieties and errors that can make your coin incredibly valuable. Look at the lettering, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. If you see doubling, it could be a major error. If the coin wasn't perfectly aligned when struck, part of the design might be missing or off balance. Collectors pay thousands for these. Missing a small crescent-shaped chunk? That's not damage, it could be a mint error. If there's a raised line or blob on the coin, it might be the result of a cracked die, and that can add big value. Every tiny detail can matter. You're not just looking for shiny pennies. You're looking for clues. Because some of these details could mean the difference between a penny worth 1 cent and one that turns you into a millionaire. Now, you may be wondering, who's buying these coins? Who would spend over $1 million on a penny? High-end coin collecting is no longer just a hobby. It's a full-blown investment strategy. We're talking CEOs, billionaires, museums, and even celebrities. These aren't just collectors, they're building legacy portfolios. To them, a rare 1971 penny is more than just metal. It's history. It's rarity. And it's an asset. Auctions for coins like this don't happen every day. When they do, prices can skyrocket. Demand far outweighs supply. With inflation rising and people looking for stable investments outside of the stock market, rare coins are becoming more valuable, not less, which means that penny in your drawer today might be worth even more tomorrow. And speaking of future value, what if I told you that the 1971 no-mint mark penny is not the only sleeping giant out there? Let's wrap this up with one last powerful thought. You've just learned about one of the most unexpected treasures in American coinage, the 1971 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, quietly climbing its way to a market value of $1.6 million. You've heard the story of the man who discovered one by accident. You now know what to look for. And you've learned that the world of coin collecting is far more than a pastime. It's a door, a secret gateway to life-changing wealth. But here's the thing, this coin is just one of many. Your coin jar, your junk drawer, even your childhood piggy bank might be hiding more than you ever imagined. And next week, we're diving into another unbelievable coin story, one even rarer than this one. So if you want to be the first to uncover these hidden gems and maybe, just maybe, become the next person to turn a penny into a fortune. Gentlemen, what if I told you that a single penny, yes, a copper coin sitting in an old coffee can, hidden in your attic or inside your grandfather's toolbox, could be worth more than most luxury homes in America? Imagine turning a dusty 1967 Lincoln Memorial penny into a staggering $1.7 million windfall. Life-changing money. And the best part? You don't need a vault of coins. You just need the right one. In today's video, we're going to explore the incredible story behind the 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, how a common-looking coin turned into a collector's dream. We're not just talking numbers, we're diving into the real value, why collectors crave it, what specific features make it rare, and how you might be holding onto this fortune without even knowing it. So grab your coins, your curiosity, and maybe even your magnifying glass, because this might be the most profitable 30 minutes of your life. And stick around, because later in the video, I'll reveal one shocking detail found in only a handful of these pennies that skyrocketed their value past the $1 million mark. America was in the middle of a cultural revolution. Vietnam, Woodstock, muscle cars on the streets. But quietly, without any fanfare, the US Mint made a move that would echo for decades among coin collectors. To deal with a coin shortage that started in the early 60s, the Mint stopped using mint marks on coins from 1965 through 1967. That's right, no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco. All coins, including pennies, were struck without mint marks. That made identifying rarities tougher, but not impossible. Among the billions of Lincoln Memorial cents minted that year, something incredible slipped through the cracks. A few coins, nearly identical to the others, held secrets that would only be discovered decades later. At first glance, the 1967 penny doesn't look like much. It features the familiar Abraham Lincoln profile on the obverse. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial. The coin is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, just like millions of others. But here's the twist, certain 1967 pennies were struck using worn dies. Some had doubling errors. Others had rare planchet flaws. And a few, just a few, were struck using experimental dies meant for proof coins, not circulation coins. These coins weren't supposed to be released. But some escaped. Quietly. Mysteriously, and when collectors started uncovering them years later, the prices began to soar. One coin, in particular, discovered in pristine condition with a rare doubling feature and an unusually sharp strike, sold at a high-profile auction for $1.70 million. Yes, you heard that right. 1 penny. $1.7 million. First, condition is everything. A coin in circulated condition might bring you a few bucks. But a coin in uncirculated or mint state condition, that's where things get interesting, doubling on the date and lettering, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. This doubling, known as DDR or DDO, can be subtle. You might not see it with the naked eye, but under magnification? A treasure map, unusual coloration or luster, coins struck on experimental planchets often look slightly different. They may appear shinier or duller depending on the metal mix. Small raised lines or missing pieces in the design can signal minting errors. And error coins are hot in the market right now. These have mirrored fields and frosted images. If you find a 1967 penny that looks like a proof coin, but isn't supposed to be one, you might be onto something big. Here's where it gets even better, because in a moment, I'll tell you about the man who found one in a jar of pennies from his late father's workshop, and how it changed his life. Meet Richard Carlson from Ohio. Vietnam veteran. retired machinist. After his father passed, Richard was clearing out the garage when he stumbled upon a tin of coins tucked behind an old drill press. Among the dozens of pennies, nickels, and dusty quarters was a bright Lincoln penny dated 1967. No mint mark. Unusual sheen. Curious, Richard held on to it. Years later, his grandson took the coin to a local coin show. A sharp-eyed dealer asked to examine it under magnification. A once-in-a-generation find. Doubling on the lettering. Exceptional luster. A near-flawless strike. And proof like Fields, the coin was authenticated by a top-tier grading service and sold through a private collector's auction for $1.7 million, from a rusty coffee can to a life-changing fortune. It's not just rarity. It's the story. The condition. The emotion tied to the hunt. Collectors crave history. They want the piece no one else has. And when it comes to 1967 pennies, the market is fiercely competitive. High-grade coins with errors are in extremely short supply. The older they get, the harder they are to find in pristine shape. That's why values continue to climb and why some dealers are now offering bounties just to locate these coins. The $1.7 million penny was just the beginning. There are whispers of others still out there. Maybe in your home. Maybe in your pocket change, which leads us to a critical point. Old jars, desk drawers, shoeboxes, and the closet bags of change from parents or grandparents. Focus on coins that are shiny, untouched, or set aside for years. If you find a 1967 penny in excellent condition, don't clean it. Cleaning can ruin value. Place it in a soft holder and take it to a professional coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and grade the coin. And from there, you can choose to auction it, sometimes through platforms like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers, or connect with high-end private collectors. But before you do, you need to know something else. There's one more feature, one final twist that could send your coin's value through the roof, and it's not what you think. In rare cases, a few 1967 pennies were struck using dies meant for the 1968 proof series. These coins have tiny rim errors, barely visible to the eye, but distinctive under magnification. They also have a unique die polish pattern behind Lincoln's head. Almost like streaks in the metal. It looks like a flaw, but it's not. It's the fingerprint of the die itself. For this detail alone, confirmed by only a handful of grading experts, has turned regular-looking pennies into museum-worthy treasures. So if you spot a coin like this, congratulations, you may be holding the next record-breaking Lincoln cent. The 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It's a golden opportunity for the lucky few who take the time to look. So the next time you empty your pockets, dig through a drawer, or cash in an old jar of coins, remember, lightning might strike in copper. Thanks for watching. If you've got a 1967 penny, drop a comment and let us know. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories of ordinary coins with extraordinary value. You've probably seen a penny on the sidewalk. Maybe even stepped over one. But what if I told you that a single, humble-looking 1968 Lincoln penny could be the key to a fortune? I'm not talking spare change. I'm talking about one of the most sought-after coins in the world, with a jaw-dropping market value of $1.8 million. That's right. One little penny. One that could be hiding in your old piggy bank, your grandfather's coin jar, or tucked away in a dusty dresser drawer. So why is this penny so valuable? And how do you know if you've got the real deal? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know exactly what to look for, but you might just become the next accidental millionaire. And here's the best part, it's not just about coins. It's about history, mystery, and unlocking hidden treasure from the past. Let's dig into the story of the 1968 penny that's quietly made headlines among collectors. But first, what makes a penny, a simple copper coin, worth more than a Ferrari? The Beatles were topping the charts, color TV was becoming a household staple, and America was shifting gears after decades of industrial growth. At the San Francisco Mint, coin production was in full swing, including the iconic Lincoln Memorial penny, an image we all recognize. But something strange happened in 1968. While billions of pennies rolled off the minting machines, a tiny handful from the San Francisco Mint were struck in a way that made them incredibly rare. These weren't your everyday pocket coins. These were coins that would silently slip into circulation, only to resurface decades later, under the radar. And here's the twist, most people didn't even know they were holding onto something extraordinary. Let's explore the rare production errors, hidden mint marks, and unique features that turned a penny into a millionaire's prize. Now, pay attention to this detail. The 1968 penny has a tiny S mint mark, which stands for San Francisco. While mint marks may seem insignificant to the average person, for collectors, they can make or break the value of a coin. In this case, the 1968 penny became the stuff of legend due to a few critical things. First, the San Francisco Mint was mostly producing proof coins that year. These are coins struck with extra care and meant for collectors, not everyday circulation. But somehow, a small batch of business strike 1968 pennies slipped through the cracks. Let that sink in. A double die penny means the design on the coin was struck twice, creating an almost ghostly shadow of Lincoln's profile or the lettering. And these doubling errors weren't just light or barely visible. On the right coin, the doubling is strong, clear, and shocking. Now here's your cliffhanger, because that doubling, if present on your 1968 penny, could skyrocket its value into the seven figures. But it's not the only thing that matters. It's a mix of rarity, condition, historical interest, and error. The 1968 penny checks all those boxes. Fewer than a dozen high-grade examples are known to exist with strong doubling and a near-perfect strike. Coin grading is a whole other world, and we'll dive into that shortly. But for now, picture this: a 1968 penny, stored away untouched, with sharp edges, clear doubling on "In God We Trust," and vibrant copper luster. In one auction, such a coin fetched over $1 million, and another collector, who found one buried in a coin collection inherited from his father, had it graded and certified only to be stunned when it was appraised at over $1.8 million. But you're probably wondering, what are the odds? How do I tell if mine is valuable? What if I tossed away a fortune without even knowing? Don't panic. You're about to find out how to check, and what not to do if you think you have one. Doubling on the date and lettering. Use a magnifying glass or loupe. Look at Liberty, "In God We Trust," and the year. The doubling should be obvious, not just a blur, but strong separation. The S should be crisp and clearly punched, with no signs of tampering. A near-mint condition coin will shine like new. Any scratches, wear, or fading could reduce value, but not always. Errors can sometimes outweigh condition. Counterfeits exist. Make sure your coin weighs close to 3.11 grams. If in doubt, get it tested. If you suspect you have the real deal, contact a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Don't try to clean the coin. Don't handle it with your fingers. Place it in a soft coin holder and wait for expert analysis. One coin with all these traits sold for $1.8 million. Imagine finding that in your change jar, but here's the big reveal: more may be out there, still undiscovered. And this isn't just about finding a lucky penny, it's about understanding a hidden market that has exploded over the last decade. Collectors across the US have turned their hobby into a business. From weekend garage sales to estate auctions, people are waking up to the treasure sitting in their own homes, and the 1968 penny isn't alone. Several coins from the 60s and 70s are now worth thousands or millions due to minor details and production quirks. But the 1968 is different. It's elusive, mysterious, and every new discovery drives its value even higher. One man from Ohio sold a 1968 penny he found in a coffee tin for over $700,000 before anyone knew its true worth. Experts now believe it could fetch double that today. You see, it's not just about luck. It's about awareness. About knowing what to look for. And being ready when opportunity knocks. And now, you are that penny in your pocket? It might not just be 1 cent. It might be one step closer to your dream life. A way to pay off the mortgage. Take that road trip. Or finally build the life you've been putting off. Don't ignore the signs. Don't dismiss the details. The 1968 Lincoln penny proves that value hides in plain sight, and sometimes, all it takes is a second glance to change your life forever. And now, go check your coins. Because someone out there has the next $1 million penny, and it might just be you. They say a penny saved is a penny earned. But what if I told you 1 penny could earn you a fortune? Imagine walking through a parking lot, eyes to the ground, and you spot a copper coin lying there, dull and forgotten. You pick it up. Just a penny, right? Worth 1 cent. But that exact penny could be worth not just a few bucks, not just a couple hundred, but a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. Sounds like something out of a movie. But it's very real. The 2014 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny is making waves across the numismatic world, and it's shocking collectors with its rarity, mystery, and massive market value. Today, we're diving deep into the story behind this modern-day treasure, how a single error, a tiny detail, turned an everyday coin into a millionaire's prize. So sit back, grab your coffee, and stay tuned until the end, because this story has more twists than you'd ever expect. Before we get into what makes the 2014 penny so special, let's rewind the clock and talk about where this all began with Abraham Lincoln. His face first appeared on the 1-cent coin in 1909, celebrating his 100th birthday. Over a century later, he's still there, watching over your change jar. The memorial reverse, that famous image of the Lincoln Memorial, was introduced in 1959 and lasted all the way to 2008. But in 2014, something unusual slipped through the cracks. A coin meant to reflect history became history itself. You see, most 2014 pennies were produced with the Union Shield design, marking a shift from the memorial reverse. But then came this mysterious penny, struck in Philadelphia, missing the mint mark, and still carrying the memorial design. Here's where things get spicy. Coins minted in Philadelphia usually carry no mint mark. That's not unusual. What's unusual is that no memorial reverse design was supposed to be struck in 2014. Philadelphia struck billions of Lincoln Shield cents that year. So how in the world did a memorial reverse design sneak into the presses? Some experts believe it was an accidental reuse of an outdated die. Others whisper about intentional releases, rare insider mistakes that made it into circulation, but regardless of how it happened, it did. And when something this rare hits the open market, it doesn't go unnoticed. Collectors went wild. Numismatists started calling it the ghost of the memorial. And then came the auction house shocker. One of these coins sold for over $1.9 million, a first rarity. You can't just walk into a bank and expect to find this penny. Only a tiny number have been confirmed to exist, and most were found purely by chance. Second, error pedigree. Coins that defy their minting year, especially those that slip past official production protocols, skyrocket in value. The 2014 memorial penny is a glaring contradiction. It shouldn't be. And that makes it priceless. Third, condition. The $1 million specimen wasn't just rare. It was in nearly flawless condition, graded at the highest levels by trusted agencies. A perfect storm of rarity and perfection. And finally, timing. This coin surfaced during a renewed interest in Lincoln cents, especially as older generations started cashing in on childhood collections. With collectors eager to find the next big thing, the 2014 mystery coin became the crown jewel. A retired postal worker in Ohio was organizing his change jar. Just a casual Sunday afternoon thing, nothing special. Among hundreds of pennies, one caught his eye. It looked a little off. The reverse wasn't the shield. It was the Lincoln Memorial. And the year? 2014. He thought it was just odd. But something told him to look deeper. He sent the penny off to be authenticated. Weeks later, a call came in. He'd found one of the rarest modern coins in existence. That coin sold for over $1.6 million at a private auction, and he used the money to pay off his mortgage, buy a lake house, and put both grandkids through college. And that's just one story. There are others out there, people who stumbled upon these rare gems in rolls from the bank, inside old penny jars, even in parking lots. It's not just luck. It's awareness. And after this video, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Now that I've got your attention, let's talk strategy. How do you know if you've got one of these ultra-rare coins sitting in your house? Start by checking the date. It must say 2014. That's step 1. Next, flip the coin. You're looking for the back, the reverse. If it shows the Union Shield, move on. If it shows the Lincoln Memorial, bingo. You may have something special. Third, look for the mint mark, or the lack of it. The correct coin will have no mint mark at all, meaning it was struck in Philadelphia. Combine these three, 2014, memorial reverse, and no mint mark, and you may have gold disguised as copper. But hold up. Don't rush to conclusions. These coins need to be authenticated by professionals. Look for grading services like PCGS or NGC. Only they can give it the official stamp that makes collectors pay big money, and once you get it graded, that's when the real adventure begins. And I hope you do. Your next question will be where to sell it. But before you post it online or sell it to the first buyer, stop coins like this should be sold through reputable auction houses. Think heritage auctions or Stacksbowers. They have access to elite collectors who are willing to spend millions for the right coin. You can also consult local coin dealers or attend national coin shows. These events are crawling with experts who know how to guide you through the process and make sure you get what your coin is truly worth. The key is patience. Don't settle for less. $1 million coin deserves $1 million deal. Here's the truth. Most likely, only a few more will surface, if any at all. And as time goes on, condition matters more than ever. The fewer in great shape, the higher the price goes. What we're seeing now is a shift. People used to think only old coins were valuable. But this 2014 penny proves that even modern coins, if minted with the right kind of mistake, can be life-changing. It means every coin jar, every roll of change from the bank, every penny your kids bring home from school has potential, and that, my friend, is where the treasure hunt begins. The 2014 no-mint Mark Memorial Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a reminder that value hides in plain sight. It's a symbol of the unexpected, the overlooked, the underdog, and maybe, just maybe, it's in your pocket right now. As you're watching this, I want you to check your change. Check your drawers. Dig through that old box of coins you got from your grandfather. Because one viewer, just like you, is going to find it, and when you do, your life won't just change, it'll transform. Stay curious. Stay searching. And never underestimate the power of a penny. If you found this video helpful, hit that thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. We've got more stories just like this, more coins worth millions hiding in the most ordinary places. Drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and tell us your story. Who knows? You might be the next millionaire collector we feature right here on the channel. You've probably heard that some coins in your pocket change could be worth more than a brand new pickup truck. But what if I told you a single penny, yes, a 1964 Lincoln Memorial penny, has fetched a jaw-dropping $1 million? You heard that right. 1 cent. $1 million, and it might be sitting right under your nose, in an old coffee can, a jar of junk coins, or tucked away in a forgotten drawer. Stick around, because today we're diving deep into the mystery, the history, and the jaw-dropping reality behind this modest copper coin that turned into a collector's dream. We're going to explore what makes this penny worth a fortune, how to tell if you've got one, and how to cash in if you do, but don't rush to your change jar just yet. Because the truth behind the $1 million 1964 penny is not just about age or rarity. It's about secrets hiding in plain sight. And I'll share them all if you stay until the end. Let's rewind the clock to 1964. The Beatles were topping the charts. Gasoline was just 30 cents a gallon. And the United States Mint in Denver was busy producing over 3 billion Lincoln Memorial pennies. At first glance, nothing about this coin screams rare. It's not made of gold. It's not embedded with diamonds. It doesn't even have a silver core, but that's exactly what makes it fascinating. You see, in the world of coin collecting, value is born in the most unexpected places. Minting errors. Transitional metals. Rare varieties. And even government decisions that change everything. This 1964 penny doesn't just have history. It hides a puzzle. And those who solved it became millionaires. The 1964 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver. It features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Standard composition? 95% copper, 5% zinc. Well, it's not just the D mint mark. It's what lies beneath the surface, literally and figuratively, because among the billions made, only a handful are truly exceptional. We're talking about rare die varieties, double dies, transitional planchet errors, and even mysterious off-metal strikes. There's one variety, one ultra-rare version of the 1964 penny, that changed everything. One that somehow slipped through unnoticed, until it landed at auction and stunned the world. But before we get there, let me take you on a journey into the fascinating world of minting mistakes, mint errors. They sound like blunders. But to collectors, they're gold. In 1964, the US Mint was under pressure. There was a national coin shortage. Pennies were being hoarded. Production lines were cranking out coins at top speed. And with that urgency came mistakes. Some 1964 pennies were struck on leftover silver dime planchets. Imagine a penny struck on silver. It's like finding a Mustang engine inside a pickup truck. Others show strong doubling on Lincoln's profile, the date, or the word liberty. These double die obverse errors are highly sought after. Not only because they're rare, but because they're visually striking. Collectors call them freaks of the mint, but the good kind die. In 2019, a privately held 1964 penny with a rare transitional error made headlines. It was struck on a leftover 90% silver planchet intended for dimes. Yes, a silver penny. Only a few are known to exist. This coin was authenticated, graded in mint condition, and eventually auctioned for over $1 million. It shocked collectors. It confused even seasoned experts. How could a silver planchet end up beneath a penny die? Well, that's where the chaos of the 1960s minting process comes in. When planchets were recycled and machinery was overworked, a few rogue pieces slipped into the wrong coin line, and here's the twist. That wasn't the only one. There are more out there, maybe sitting in a roll of pennies in your closet. Maybe in your granddad's old coin pouch. Or maybe, in your hand right now. A 1964 penny should be copper. If it looks silver, test its weight. A silver planchet will weigh about 2.5 grams instead of the usual 3.11. Look at the date, the words, "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." Use a magnifying glass. Doubling will look like a ghost image or thickened letters. These are obvious. If the penny looks like it was struck off kilter or has no rim on one side, don't toss it. It could be rare. Even common coins become valuable if they're in uncirculated or mint state. So a flawless 1964 penny is always worth looking at twice. Don't take it to your local pawn shop. You'll likely get pennies on the dollar, literally. Instead, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate, grade, and seal the coin, boosting its value. Once graded, you can consign it to a high-profile auction house like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbauer's. These firms work with elite collectors, investors, and museums who are willing to pay top dollar, but even before that, get it insured. If your penny's the real deal, you're sitting on a 6 or 7-figure asset. The 1964 penny is proof that value is hiding in plain sight. In a world chasing quick wins and get-rich-quick schemes, the real treasure might be sitting quietly in your coin jar, waiting for someone like you to notice. If you've ever doubted the value of keeping old coins, think again, because stories like this one don't just make headlines. They make legacies. Your $1 million moment might be one penny away. And now, you know how to find it. Go ahead. Check your coins. Check your family's stash. Check the jars, the drawers, the boxes in the attic. Sometimes the smallest coin holds the biggest fortune. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might just be holding the $1 million penny without even knowing it. Have you ever walked past a penny lying on the ground and thought, it's just 1 cent, not worth bending over for? Well, let me ask you something. What if that tiny coin was actually worth over $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. A little brown penny from the year 2000, with no mint mark, recently stunned the coin collecting world when it fetched an astonishing $1.1 million at auction. 1 cent to over $1 million. Now that's the kind of transformation we all wish we had in our bank accounts. This rare penny might be sitting in your home, right now. In a jar, in a drawer, or at the bottom of your old toolbox. This isn't just a story about money, it's a wake-up call to start looking closely at the coins we've taken for granted all our lives. So stay with me, because over the next 30 minutes, we're going deep into why this 2000 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is so valuable, what to look for, how errors made it a hidden treasure, and how ordinary folks, just like you, are cashing in big. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the very end, because we'll reveal a twist about how this coin's value could go even higher. Let's rewind the clock to the year 2000. The new millennium had just begun. People were still talking about Y2K, flip phones were high-tech, and nobody thought twice about using coins for everyday purchases. That same year, the US Mint struck billions, and I mean billions, of Lincoln Memorial pennies. Most came with a mint mark, a little D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But a very small number somehow slipped through the cracks with no mint mark at all. No D. No P. Just Lincoln's face, the date, and an eerie silence where a mint mark should have been. At first glance, they look like your average penny. But numismatists, coin collectors with an eye for the rare, noticed something odd. These coins had sharper details. A richer luster. A slightly off-center strike. And most importantly, no mint mark. We'll get to that. But first, let's talk about what makes a coin like this jump from 1 cent to over $1 million. First, rarity. In the coin world, rarity isn't just about how many coins were made, it's about how many survived in pristine condition. The no-mint mark Lincoln pennies from 2000 are so rare that fewer than a dozen have been confirmed in mint-state condition. Some experts believe even fewer exist in the wild, second, condition. Collectors don't just want old coins. They want flawless ones. The $1 million penny we're talking about was graded MS-70, which means it's basically perfect, like it came out of the machine yesterday. Not a scratch. Not a smudge, third, and this is the big one, the minting error. That missing mint mark isn't just a curiosity. It's a rare mistake in a system that's designed to be flawless. Coin collectors love mint errors. The more unusual and dramatic, the higher the price, and here's something wild: this particular coin also had what's called a double die reverse error. That means the back of the coin, where the Lincoln Memorial sits, shows faint doubled lines if you look closely. Add that to the missing mint mark in perfect condition, and you've got yourself a once-in-a-lifetime find. The man who discovered this $1.1 million penny? A retired truck mechanic from Ohio named Dennis. No expert. No fancy coin tools. Just an old habit of checking his change after every grocery store trip. He wasn't even looking for anything in particular. He just liked to collect pennies. One night, while watching a ball game, he dumped his day's change on the table and started sorting. That's when he spotted something strange. The penny from 2000 was crisp, too crisp. And when he flipped it over and noticed the doubling on the Lincoln Memorial, he knew it was different. He sent it off for grading, waited nervously, and then got the call. It was authentic, it was perfect, and it was priceless. But Dennis didn't stop there. He went back through every drawer, every coin jar, every couch cushion in his house. And guess what? He found two more unusual coins, though not as valuable as the first. Still, it changed his life. He auctioned the first one and pocketed over $1 million. Enough to pay off his mortgage, buy a lake cabin, and take his grandkids to Disney World. And now, let's talk about how you can identify a $1 million penny in your own house. First, check the date. It must be from the year 2000. Don't worry about the shine, some old pennies look dull even if they're valuable. Second, look closely at the area under the year. That's where the mint mark normally goes. If it's blank, you may have something special. A third, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's camera and zoom in on the Lincoln Memorial. Look for doubling lines that seem to echo or shadow each other, especially on the pillars. That's where grading services come in. Companies like PCGS and NGC can professionally evaluate your coin, authenticate it, and assign it a grade. If it's legit, you'll get a certificate and the attention of serious buyers. But here's a cliffhanger for you. What if I told you there are other coins from the year 2000 with different errors, and some of them are still unlisted? That's right. The 2000 no-mint mark penny isn't the only sleeper hit from that year. There are known examples of wide AM reverse pennies, where the spacing between the letters A and M in America is wider than usual. Sounds like a tiny thing, but collectors go nuts over it. These coins can fetch thousands, even tens of thousands, depending on condition. Then there's the off-center strike penny. If Lincoln's head looks like it's drifting off the coin, that could be a jackpot too. And let's not forget the die cracks, cuts, and clash marks, tiny metal flaws that result from worn-out minting machines. They're like fingerprints of history, and collectors are always hunting them. So what does that mean for you? It means that every penny in your home is now a potential treasure. Not just the 2000s. But especially those, and just when you think we've covered it all, there's still one piece left. Here's the thing: coin values rise and fall based on demand, scarcity, and discovery. And right now, the 2000 no-mint mark penny is gaining legendary status among collectors. Some experts believe that its value could double in the next 10 years, especially as fewer perfect specimens remain. Imagine a $1.1 million coin turning into $2 million. There are even rumors of another coin from the same batch, perfect, uncirculated, with even rarer doubling, hidden away in someone's attic. If that ever surfaces, it could shatter records and make headlines around the world. You don't need to be a coin expert. You don't need a metal detector. All you need is curiosity, a little time, and the willingness to look. Next time you see a penny, don't ignore it. Pick it up. Flip it. Study it, because hidden in your change, your drawers, or your pocket, might just be the coin that changes your life forever. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button. Subscribe for more incredible stories about coins worth fortunes. And in the comments, let me know if you've ever found a rare penny or if you're going to start hunting today.